In this play, we're going to see Vandersloot, the ball handler here, refuse the ball screen, which essentially just means that instead of using it and coming off tight like we talked about in the last clips, she's using it as a fake or as a decoy and goes off the other direction. And this basically works because defenders are typically anticipating for you to use the ball screen, so they're already jumping over the top before you even go. So watch the on-ball defender here. She's already starting to jump over the top of the screen before Vandersloot even goes to use it. Because a good ball screen can be so hard to defend, we can see that even just the presence of one can mess with the defense. And if you've ever been blindsided by a screen while defending the ball, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So Vandersloot reads this well, refuses the ball screen, and then our concepts more or less remain the same. She draws two defenders here and finds her pop wide open for a shot. And it doesn't hurt to have a clean little behind the back pass in your bag, especially as a point guard. As long as in game situation, you can deliver a good pass to your shooter still. And again, as a team trying to play winning basketball and get high percentage shots, it doesn't get much better than this kind of wide open set 3-pointer. Now, I had to include this ball screen refusal because it is just nice. And you can see this different way of using the ball screen as an added fake. So we watch this defender. As she's either being told or sees that the ball screen is coming, she's already getting ready to race over the top. So this crossover by Courtney Williams, which would have been nice on its own, just absolutely destroys the defense. So you can see in this way that refusing the screen is basically just a counter or a fake to using the screen. And for a hooper like Courtney Williams, this is plenty enough space to operate and get into her shot. So almost identical to the first clip that we saw, but I think this play also helps illustrate what I like to talk about in the micro versus macro parts of the game. Basically, macro being the big picture, the 5-on-5 on the court where there's space where we want to get to, and micro being our different skills, our tools, and the details to make those things happen. So we got Brittney Griner coming over and setting the screen. We pause it here because we want to get a feel for what's going on with the whole court. Right, more than just you and your defender, there's 8 other players on the court we got to think about as well. So if I'm Diggins with the ball, I'm recognizing that all the held defense is over there on that weak side, waiting for me to use the screen and run over to them. And at the risk of pointing out the obvious, you typically want to go to where there's space on the court. And Diggins recognizes that there's a ton of space if she goes baseline, if she drives to her left, making this a great time to not use the screen and drive into a bunch of defenders, but refuse it and go to where there's space. Which leads to that familiar situation where we've now drawn 2 defenders and Diggins makes the easy read, hitting Griner for the pop and the jump shot. Just a good example of why you gotta have that macro understanding of what's going on the court, at the same time have those micro skills and tools to execute. I mentioned in the Take It Yourself video, go watch that one too, that taking it yourself off a ball screen is actually a fairly uncommon look, but refusing the screen can be a great option to do this because you're catching the defense out of position. So you can see Carter here, all it really takes is this little jab step to throw the defense off as she's anticipating getting through the screen already, and then she just takes it baseline for a quick layup. So if you're running a lot of ball screens and say the defense is doing a good job guarding it or they're getting used to it, refusing the ball screen can be a good counter or a different way to attack that.